Yo, Tony Ricca here. Yo, oh yeah, you know who this is for. Independent wrestling circuit and cameos. Oh yeah, yo. It's a little cool here. Have my yo hoodie on. Oh yeah, just to let you know. But anyway, hey, yeah, just gonna answer some of these questions. I can't wait. Love it. I love the questions. Yo, keep throwing them at me. Oh yeah. All right, let's get started with this. Oh yeah. So all right. First question. Hey, when training in the ECW program, okay, all right. Hey, was Paul Heyman the owner? Yeah. And also, if not, did I ever meet him? So, okay, actually, yes, of course, I did meet him, and at that time, he was not the owner of it. Actually, he was more of the head booker then, and he actually, eventually took it over, of course, but. It was still ECW at that time. Later on when he took it over, a lot of things changed, but, kind of moved the ball, moved things forward even more. But even though as a head booker, he kind of like, changed the name, helped with all that. So, but actually Todd Gordon was the owner at the time. And Paul, though, yes, actually, I met him. I like Paul, good guy there. And what can I say? I remember, when I go to the training facility, actually, with the Pitbulls, actually, from ECW, we were all from the same town. Now, one of the Pitbulls, Gary, Pitt there, he was in Philly, so he stayed there. And now the other Pitbull, Anthony Durante, he was the one actually that he was still in town, and I would travel with him. We would go there. Sometimes Gary was there, Gary Wolf, the Pit there, and it was like we were the boys. Yeah, that's how it was. That's just kind of how it is. And but I have to say, those guys exceptional. Obviously they were just excellent actually people. Just in general, and also not just from growing up with them, but also, as wrestlers. I mean, they were like absolutely just excellent. To me, no one was better than that tag team. But anyway, if anything, like I tell you, going there, having some training, with them, and again, like I said, a lot of times it was with Anthony. Gary was there, he was there, but, we all, it's different things, at times, for how, we did it, wherever we trained, how it was, but, obviously they were there, and of course I was set, doing, and getting ready for, WWF anyway, but, it's all this circle in the business in itself was, pretty much, something where, it's kind of like, you have that circle of people, really good people there that you're with, and I'm kind of going, kind of off script here, but it's just, telling that little extra story in it, especially with ECW, because, the Pitbulls are obviously a big part of that, but, and I just remember, like, even, they were like, they'd call me up, they'd come to the shows, because you never know, there are extra wrestlers there, if you ever needed somebody on there, but I wasn't looking to wrestle there. But I remember going in, I'd bring some people with me, my girlfriend and wife now, at the time I would bring her, obviously other people with us. We just walk right in, you see the line, the line was down. If you knew in Philly, you knew the arena, you knew it, man. And I could tell you right now, exceptional. They just get, Pharaoh, come on in, come on, Tony. And it was like, so we go, I go in the back, just say hi to everybody, and, just get things going there, great shows that they put on. So I'd go there every once in a while, and just, support them. And that was the main thing with that. But yeah, met Paul Heyman, absolutely. And of course, like I said, about that, it's kind of like, Yeah, he didn't own it yet, but he was the head booker then. But anyway, so the next question, about Logan Paul. So what do I think of Logan Paul as a wrestler? In that sense, right there, and actually, I think he's excellent. Really, actually, exceptional skills he has. Actually, he sells pretty good too. So everything he does, certain things he does, I should say, he sells it, pretty good, and he comes off, really good. When you're looking at people, like, again, as a promoter too, I'm looking at, people, you kind of see what they can do, what they bring, and again, selling is a big thing right there, and he can do that. Great agility. I know I could see he's getting better at his mats, the mat skills themselves. So he's really doing a great job. And I know kind of like, he's kind of like, he works, a little bit here and there, it's like, which brand is he working out, with? So they have him floating around basically, but he's more of the upper card anyway. So, they're going to throw him at great matches, I think he's exceptional, for what he does. And as a wrestler, yes, absolutely. So I have to give him that. Oh yeah, I have to do that. But anyway, and then next question here, was Gorilla Monsoon a nice person? And absolutely yes. Yeah, Gorilla Monsoon, awesome guy. I remember when I first got into WWE, but at that time, just got into the hotel and he was right there. And the hotel, they had these stairs that went way up. I could recall some of that. And he was right there, really nice, greeting, the whole thing. And it was kind of like, here's this, that, the other. And then we were just talking and just obviously there were a lot, there was so many people to meet but he was there and he was really great. But I really got to know him. It was through Dick Worley, and he was at another training center. That that's a story, definitely a story, because he had called me up one day and that was funny. But I'm not going to get off track here. He was really actually great friends with Gorilla Monsoon, and actually, and I was Dick's head trainer at his training place as well, it was pretty much, how can I put it? He's like, listen, Gorilla, we have to meet up because, WWF wants you, it's kind of, there's a whole story behind that, with that and Gorilla obviously with Vince. They were real tight, really, he was the go-to guy. Gorilla was with Vince. So it's funny. So a little funny story here, when I was talking with Gorilla, we met up and I basically, so at the Pharaoh, the lock coming off my head, that little tail, the lock as the Pharaoh. And so, obviously it was setting things up to obviously kind of just get this contract going and things going. But he told me, and like I said, he's a nice person, but it's one of the things, it's great to know. And when you learn from people that have worked in the business, people that are in the business, and he was in the business for so long, and you learn, you can learn from a little bit of, you learn a little bit of everything from, many people, but he's one of them, I can tell you right now. And he kind of told me, he said, okay, just want to let you know, cut the tail. And so I was like, oh, I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is the Pharaoh. I need the tail. It's part of it. But he wanted it off. And it was kind of the thing right there. And that story goes on right there. But the thing is that, hey, I wanted you to know that. Great stories with Gorilla. Really, really a nice person. And I just have to tell you that. And again, thank you so much for asking these questions. Because I love answering them. Yeah, baby, I love answering them. So, hey, just keep throwing them at me. I'm all ready for them. All right, I can't wait. Hey, I love you. Oh, yeah. All right, make sure everyone's listening. Oh, yeah. Hey, get ready for the yos. Are you ready? Oh, yeah. Yo, yo. Oh, yo, yeah. Yo.